UConn gets the 86-72 win over Alabama in the semifinals of the Final Four. Huskies advance to Monday night's matchup against Purdue. Just initial reaction here from an Alabama perspective. I thought Alabama actually played pretty well. I really do. I think Alabama actually played a really good game overall. Played their tails off, played their butts off. Just going through it initially here, 44%, almost 45% from field goal percentage, 47% from three. Free throws are fine, 81%. Just got out rebounded. Some untimely rebounds killed them. I thought when they got on their 7-8-0 runs, remember that was back and forth for a while. Both teams going back and forth, 7-8-0 runs. And it felt like Alabama couldn't ever get on their typical 10-0, 12-2, 14-0 run. So I thought that really killed. I thought they struggled. They couldn't get a defensive stop, and they couldn't get the big rebound. I thought overall Alabama's initial defense was fine. I thought it was fine. Again, though, UConn's so good, so versatile. They'll take it down to 15 seconds of the shot clock, 10 seconds of the shot clock, and just eat you late in the shot clock, which after a while, if you ever played basketball before, that hurts you after a while. Like, hey, we're playing our tails off, guys. We're defending our tails off. They're hitting shots late. We're giving up a late board after a great initial defensive stand. So that took its toll. Remember, guys, this game was a tie game with 12 minutes left. Alabama's probably giving UConn their best game in the last 2 years of the NCAA tournament. This is the most competitive game. Again, don't let the final score deceive you. 86-72. This game was tied with 12 minutes left. UConn just went on a big run with the under 8-minute mark, kind of put it away. So that's what I would say from that standpoint. But UConn, 50% from the field, 40% from three, 77% from the free throw line. Out-rebounded Bama 37-29. You feel that. You felt that. 12-8 offensive boards, UConn won. 25-21 on the defensive board. It's assists, both fine. Turnovers weren't terrible. I thought Bama had some untimely ones. Bama had 8. UConn finished with 4. Other than that, fouls, UConn 17-15. It wasn't a terribly officiated game. It's just so inconsistent. I might get on that run. Just college basketball this year, I feel like the whistle was a little looser in the first half. Second half, a lot more tighter. But again, UConn ended up with more fouls called on them. What was the free throws? Bama shot 11. UConn shot 18. Yeah, difference, but not terrible. Thought overall, the well-played game. Fun game to watch. Back and forth. You could tell that Bama couldn't get up. They couldn't get their pace of play going. They couldn't start playing the game they wanted to play. UConn, just a deep team, though, dude. Just a great game plan by Dan Hurley and his team. Just an overall great game plan by Dan Hurley and his basketball team. I think you got to give them credit overall. Alabama shot 23 threes. That's it. They got 23 up. Sorry, that noise in the background with me just looking at the box score there. They got 23 threes up. I saw all week everybody being like, if Bama's got to make 20 to 24 threes to have a chance. People didn't understand, and I knew this going into the game. Bama wasn't going to be able to get that many up. They shot as well as you probably could. They were 72% from the first half, ended up being 47.8 for the entire game. They shot as well as you could. They shot really well. They just didn't get a lot of attempts up. Yeah, 23 attempts, man. 23 attempts. Bama shot 47%. Again, I thought that Alabama probably beats most teams on a night like this. They probably score more. They're not held to 72. They're probably in the mid-80s at that point. But, man, I felt like Bama left a little bit of meat on the bone. But UConn, man, they're the best team in the country. I think if this game is played 10 times, UConn wins 8 or 9. I feel comfortable saying that. 8 or 9. It's comfortable in saying. Again, just look how spread out the performance of UConn is. Carabin, 14. Klingon, 18. Castle, 21. Tristan Newton, 12. Cam Spencer, 14. For Bama, Mark Sears did his thing, 24 points, 9 for 14 from the field, 3 from 6 from beyond the arc. I thought he did a great job with the boards, 5 boards. Where you felt Bama a little bit didn't bring much to the table was Pringle tonight. Maybe I think he was nursing some a little bit, only 2 points, but that's not even what I'm concerned about. 0 rebounds for Nick Pringle. 0 rebounds. That's where you heard him. That's where you really missed him. Grant Nelson, 19 points, 7 for 16 for the field, 1 for 4 for 3-point range. Estrada, 13. Rylan Griffin, 8. But Rylan Griffin had some timely turnovers, some bad turnovers at points. Again, Bama only had 8. That didn't really cost them the game. But overall, I mean, Bama had 6 points from off the bench. It was just Latrell Wright selling 2 for 3 from the field, 2 for 5 overall. 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Again, Wrightsell shot great from 3. Covered up the concussion, but he only got 3 off. Give Dan Hurley and his UConn Husky staff credit. Schemed up great. Again, that's why I know. And again, if you're just a basketball purist, you love this sport. I love this sport. Again, but we're going to cheer for the SEC team on this network. But these are the 2 most consistent teams all year that are playing on Monday night for a chance to hoist the trophy. UConn and Purdue. I think most people are fired up to see it. UConn, just a good team. But again, for Alabama this year, just a phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. This is probably Nate Oates' 3rd best team, probably in his tenure at Alabama. Probably. Again, this was his 5th year. He's locked in for a while. Bama's a consistent top 10 program year in, year out now. I think you can put them up there easily 1, 2, top 2 program in the SEC right now. So that it's going well. Recruiting's phenomenal. Bringing 2 McDonald All-Americans in this year. I'm sure they'll get heavy in the portal. Probably you'll start seeing stuff tomorrow. So Bama's here to stay. They are. With Nato's young coach, got him locked in. It's going to take a pretty penny from an AD or a school to come pay 10, that would be $11 million to come to pay a buyout, then pay him and his staff, keeping your NIL healthy. It's going to take a big commitment from a team to come pay his buyout here in the near future. So Nate Oates here to stay for Alabama. You got to be fired up if you're an Alabama fan. Fantastic year. Played UConn the best anyone's played them in the NCAA tournament in the past 2 years. Again, don't let the final score deceive you now. The 86-72 win. This was a tie game. I keep saying it with 12 minutes left. Really got away at the 8-minute mark. Thought Bama played well, though. They played their tails off, shot well, initially defended well. If you were poking a hole in the initial reaction in this game, it's rebounding. And you're probably not getting as many blue-collar points. You know what I'm talking about if you're an Alabama fan. Blue-collar points, what Nate Oates and them keep track of, reward, give their heart at the end of each game after a win. As many as they probably hope. But again, that's UConn. Tough, tenacious, consistent, deep team who I expect to win the national championship on Monday night. But again, phenomenal year for Alabama. Played their tails off tonight. Just really think the difference was UConn's the better team. Win 8, 9 times out of 10, I think, if this game. Obviously in a series, best out of 7, they would. But I thought Alabama put themselves in. I kept telling people, if Bama can be within a possession under 4 minutes, it's anyone's game. It's anyone's game. That's why when they were tied with North Carolina in the Sweet 16 round, they were tied with 12 minutes left. I kept saying if they're tied with 12 minutes left, it's a 12-minute game. Whoever wins that wins the game. It was Alabama. Just kind of felt they left a little meat on the bone in the first half. They were down 4 at half. Sears got that bucket. But they were shooting 72% from the field. UConn left some meat on the bone as well from 3. They didn't shoot well in that first half. So you're kind of like, man, thought we had a pretty efficient first half if you're Alabama, but you're still down 4, and UConn's not going to shoot that bad again. And naturally, your 72% free throw 3-point percentage in the first half is going to naturally just come down, just like North Carolina's did. They were shooting 60% in the first half against Alabama in the Sweet 16 round, and it went down just naturally. It's basketball, but again, got to be fired up if you're Alabama, man. Nothing to hold your head up about. A lot of people had Alabama losing to Charleston in the first round. Here we are on April 6th. Talking about Alabama playing in the Final Four, a competitive, fun college basketball game against UConn. But where we have it, UConn versus Purdue, Monday night, 2 most consistent teams all year playing for a national championship. But tip of the cap to Nate Oates and his staff, phenomenal job, especially after only bringing 3 guys back, replacing all 3 of his coaches who went and got head coaches' jobs. If you've been following the team, you understand that. You know that story. I'm not going to go in depth that. But tip of the cap to his staff, phenomenal job by Nate Oates and his staff. This Alabama basketball team playing their best basketball. Really at the end of March, into April. But again, UConn advancing. It's your initial reaction of UConn's 86-72 win over Alabama in the Final Four. Appreciate you joining us here on this SEC Unfiltered platform. I'm your host, Dave Shumate. You have a phenomenal night.